It's like, you know what? I'm here for the plot at this point. Like the person across the table isn't really doing it for me. And you know what? Like I'm probably gonna get heat for it later. But at this point, hey, I guess it's another story I can just tell on the podcast.
It's true. It's true. I think people are going to pick up on it, Sean, that we do things for the podcast. We do it for the plot. Exactly. We're doing it for the plot.
Doing it for the plot.
Thank you, producer Will.
Thank you.
About to ready to rock and roll. Nothing like sitting you down and just like getting to it.
Exactly.
I feel like it when I did your podcast, like, we warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Did the thing. Played ball a little bit before like we started.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cause I like to make sure that people feel comfortable like before we jump in. Cause I know sometimes it's like it's crazy. It's like, okay, scheduling. Okay. Like, all right, now you're here. Let's jump right into it. I'm like, how was your day? Have any questions about the outline?
I had you stand on the corner for 15 minutes and then I said, Sean, we're ready.
Exactly.
So I did a complete opposite of what, you did for your podcast, which I loved. I love doing your podcast. I love the platform of your podcast. I love the concept of the podcast. And you were just so well organized. You said everything over. I prepared jokes.
Yeah.
I was ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it was so much fun having you on and like the conversations like that we had and just like the laughs, like all of it. It was such a great episode.
The time blew like right by.
It really did. Yeah.
Like it didn't feel, I don't know, like it didn't feel like we sat down for as long as we did.
Right. Because like by the time like I looked at like the clock, I'm like, oh my goodness, really? Like this much time has passed, like over an hour. It felt like it was like 10 minutes.
I know. It was crazy. It was crazy to me. But can you tell my audience about what your podcast is like, what it's about, and just, I think the inspiration behind it too, because like it's a very interesting story.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the podcast is called Situaseans Podcast.
I love it. I love the name.
Right. Exactly. Situaseans.
It's so perfect.
And it's about dating and relationships and mental and emotional life experiences. And so, I started it about 3 years ago. And I started it because after a relationship that I had, ended, I was like, okay, well, the dating apps have seemed to have changed in like, the 2 years that I've been off the apps, because the first time out that I was ever on the apps was like late 2018, early 2019. So
okay.
I was like, and so even then, like I felt like the app environment was a little bit more intentional, and like people were like a bit more communicative and just, just very straightforward. But anyway, after a relationship that I was in from 2020 to 2022, after that relationship ended, got back on the apps, I was like, whoa, was the 180? What happened to the app? Like everybody's like ghosting, like the app, like the price of even just using these apps have gone up, like the monthly subscriptions. I'm like,
yes, it's an investment.
Right. It's like, what the hell is this?
And it's insane. Well, I think everyone watched Tiger King. I think that's what happened. And then everybody just went feral.
Exactly. I think, so COVID just messed all of us up. And so going through the app environment where it felt like just like everybody that I was interacting with just, almost treated each other as just options or just numbers. Oh, well, if I don't like the way that this person, I don't know, talks or eats, I'm going to go back on the app and find somebody who does, fit the bill of what I'm looking for. And so it's just like these like small things. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just air out my frustrations on this open platform and just bitch about it.
For the people. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And after a few episodes, people started to email their stuff like, hey, this guy or this girl said this. Can you unpack it on the show and let me know your thoughts? And I'm like, well, first of all, I am not a dating expert. I could just give you like an open opinion, but just take that with what you will, because I don't want my advice to be taken as, oh yeah, this is cookie cutter advice. It applies to me, so it'll work for everybody else. I'm like, no, use it at your own will. And so, they liked the advice and more people started to tune in and email the show. Then I started to get guests on the show, and I've had some guests of all different backgrounds, actors, comedians, some people from Love is Blind came on that didn't have their story aired out on the show.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And so I'm just blessed to just continue to just do it. And we are like, we do episodes released every other Wednesday. So yeah.
That's incredible. And I think it's great too because like you're experiencing it in real time and you're able to relate with your listeners about what's happening. Like what I loved about your show, if I may say, is you had the prompts from the dating apps.
Yes.
And I do think we said like yes to some red flags. But I like reviewed it in my head afterwards. I was like, maybe we shouldn't have answered that way. Like that might have been a red flag. And we're like, yeah, maybe you should see what this person's all about. At least go on one date.
Exactly.
And it was like it was the craziest. I wish I should have kept the prompt. It was like the craziest thing in the world. And I love that people are like sending in like prompts from like the dating apps because they're fucking crazy.
Absolutely. It's so unhinged because like my listeners,
Literally.
they'll submit these screenshots of all the things from the dating apps. Like, hey, I saw this on this app or this person had put this up. You know, what does this mean? Or can you and the guest let us know if it's hinged or unhinged? And so, it's so much fun. And actually, if you want, I can go through a few of those submissions that we went through on my podcast, with you if you want at the end of the show.
I would love that.
All right.
I think maybe we do that. If you want to share a Dammit moment, you are more than welcome to. We could do that in combination, but I think that would be really good. Did you bring some with you?
I sure did.
Hell yeah. Yes. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, you came so prepared.
Yeah,
John, you were the beacon of being prepared, and we're just doing the things.
Thank you.
We're just doing the damn things.
Yes.
And I love too that you just have such a diverse, and like I feel the same way with like my guests, but like you have all these like just diverse backgrounds and people doing different things, and I feel like you get a wider perspective, especially with dating.
Oh, yes. And like what I've found out is it does not matter like who you are or how many followers you have or how little followers you have or whatever it is like your specialty is. Dating is complicated no matter what, no matter who you are. So, and I think that's the one thing that resonated with a lot of the listeners and why they, continue to just share their stories or even just engage with the content because it's like, oh yeah, this is relatable. Oh my goodness, I went through this too. So I think it's just the relatability that just keeps people coming back and just, wanting to just openly share. And so I appreciate the listeners for tuning in. I appreciate your listeners for in advance for tuning in.
Of course, it's going to be a crossover moment.
Exactly.
We love it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, talking about like the dating apps and, I did go on your show and I made like a declaration. I was like, I'm not dating all of this year.
Yeah. So what's up with that? Is this kind of still the same thing?
I lied to you.
Oh.
I downloaded Hinge. And it's a wild place to be.
Yeah.
I think I was bored. I don't know. And I was like, why did you do this? You said that you weren't going to do this in 2026. I made it 3 months. 3 months. So anybody at home that was taking bets, like, just.
Yeah.
March is where I dropped off.
Darn.
But what was interesting too is just
I had some bets for you on the Kalshi app.
Oh shit! Did you? Well, I hope you picked March.
There goes my parlay.
There goes your parlay.
Dammit Danii.
I know. I said to the people, and everyone's like, okay, whatever you say. But we were talking about different dating apps too, right? Because like there's so many now. And it's crazy to me how like there's Hinge. And what were we talking about? It was like Plenty of Fish.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of Fish, Coffee Meets Bagel, Bumble, Tinder.
Farmers Only.
Farmers Only.
I think someone needs to dabble into Farmers Only and get back to us.
Yes. Let us know. I would love to just get some testimonial from that app because I can only imagine.
Can you imagine just the stories that may come from that? Like, what does that look like? Like, I just love to get up at 4:30 a.m. and go out to my pasture. Like, what, like, what does it look like?
It's like green flag or red flag. He pulls up to our first date riding a lawnmower.
Yes, or like his truck's not lifted.
Exactly.
What do I do here? Is this a yes or is this a no?
Right. His tractor is a rental and he doesn't own it.
Like, no girl. No bueno. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, and you're not only doing the podcast, you also are an actor and you're in a play right now. Yeah. You are in 3 Coconuts.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So 3 Coconuts, it's a funny dramedy, like drama comedy, and is written by Howard Tickman, who's the director of the West Coast Jewish Theater, and they operate out in Santa Monica, California.
Very cool.
So we opened in February and we run all the way until the end of March. And so I play, and so like the storyline is about this Jewish mother, like in the 1960s. She has a teenage son, and she pretty much puts out an ad in a newspaper to try to find a eligible bachelor who will, date her and marry her and be a possible fit for a stepfather for her young son. And so these three Jewish guys come over and they pretty much interact with each other to see who's like the most most eligible bachelor.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because none of them expected the other person to be there. They thought they were going to be the only guy there.
Yeah.
And so I play Maurice, this pimp who lives upstairs, who has nothing to do with any of it.
I love this. I love this random insert.
Exactly. I just come downstairs because I'm looking for a cup of flour because I got some cake upstairs that I got to bake. I'm baking something, but it ain't a cake.
It ain't a cake. It's not a cake. So, when you found out about the role, they were like, pimp? Exactly. And you were like, okay,
right.
I'll be a pimp.
Exactly. As soon as I read the script, I was like, oh my God, this is funny. Because at first going in, I'm just like, okay. I can understand, okay, yeah, I could fit the bill for it for sure. But I was like, does it make sense? And once I read the script, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good ass time for sure.
Oh, that's incredible.
And the director got in contact with my agent. My agent told me about this. And so I just went to go audition and had some dialogue with the director. He walked me through kind of the setup and I read for him. And then after that, everything was signed the paperwork. Everything was done.
It was signed. It was a signed deal.
Yeah.
You were a pimp.
Exactly.
You were ready to just embrace. What did you do to prepare for that role?
Yeah. So
did you go to Vegas?
Exactly. Went to Vegas, right? Did all the things. So it's kind of funny. One of my favorite movies is American Gangster.
Oh shit. Okay. This is perfect then.
Yeah. And so, Frank Lucas, played by Denzel Washington, based on a true story and everything. And kind of just seeing like how he moved and all of that. I was like, okay, cool. I can kind of work some of that pimp kind of gangster, approach. But then also I watched, Friday After Next, Cat Williams' character.
Yes.
Because he's a funny pimp. And so I'm like, all right, I want to kind of get some inspiration from that as well. And so kind of just tying a little bit of okay, this businessman nature of Frank Lucas, of the American Gangster, but then also tying it in with Cat Williams' funny portrayal of a pimp.
Yes.
That's kind of how my character came about.
That is, oh my God, that's incredible. It's good to be, multidimensional. You got to have a little bit of both elements, some serious, some funny. I think, was it Norbit that Cat Williams was in too?
Oh,
am I thinking of the right movie?
I believe so, because I know Eddie Murphy, he did 7 different characters, but
and I think Eddie Griffin's in it too.
Yes.
And I want to say they were both pimps, they had the suits and it was the whole thing. And oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah. It's funny how art sometimes just imitates life too,
Yeah. You're it's funny how things just, work out.
Oh, yes.
Are you adding pimp to your Instagram profile?
Exactly. Yeah. Certified pimp.
I will die if you add
it. My nickname will be Shawnee P. What does P stands for? Shawnee Pimp.
Yeah, he's just which, speaking of, great segue into Shawnee Do. Great segue. So, okay, he acts, he's got Situations, and then also the music career. And I don't think I realized it the first time I had followed you, and I looked at your profile again, and I'm like, oh, here it is. Because we talked about it. It's a bop.
Thank you.
It's a bop.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love making music. I make hip hop. I do a little bit of pop and stuff like that here and there, and then I sing. I love it all. And the latest album EP that I put out was it's called Scars, and it was pretty much like a breakup kind of, EP to kind of just talk about all the stuff that I went through in some past relationships, but then also talk about some of like the childhood trauma that I went through. Cause I was like, okay, well, let me kind of just, lean in on that. But then, yeah, outside of that, I love making, like just fun, like turn up type of music. And
It's
so
great.
I kind of just go all over the spectrum because I just love music will always be like my first love. If I had to pick, hey, if it's like, podcasting, acting or whatever, like what do you put like as your most favorite thing you love to do? It would have to be making music and music production.
So that would be your top one.
Yeah.
Of all the projects and all the things that you do.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Cause I used to like actually, rap in like my own little studio, like when I was in Chicago on the South Side, like in the early days. Cause I started rapping around like the age of like 8 or 9, but then I started to record it in like my senior year of high school, and then me and some friends would just like record and stuff like that. Then throughout college I would just like recording stuff, but I took it way more seriously like after college, and I was like performing at local nightclubs in Chicago and making money just like not like I'm not like tons of
throwing bills,
right?
Yeah.
Literally just like, I don't know, a couple $100 for like, a 10-minute performance. I'm like, shoot, I'll take that.
That's incredible.
So just doing that and just collaborating with other artists and stuff like that. And then I want to say 2015, 2016, that's when I started to work with like, other different studios. And instead of just me producing it, I would just go to the studio to record it because I had, I guess, more financial means to go out and do it. So I would record in Chicago at Complex Studios. And then I would go down to Atlanta to record at Bravo Ocean Studios, where they recorded Post Malone, Katy Perry, some other acts down there.
Ooh, okay.
And then one of my first music videos I've ever shot was with Cole Bennett, Lyrical Lemonade. For those in the hip hop community, like that's like one of the top music video directors out there. So like that was so much fun. And right now I have a song that I just released a few months back. It's called My Friends. And it's like a poppy kind of song, kind of just reminding people like the importance of friendships, like no matter like what, keep your friends close and nearby. And we shot the music video for it in September of 2025. And it's going to be, coming out by the end of like March. And so, when like, I'm hoping that like everybody will love it. Like it was such a fun thing to do. We shot some behind the scenes footage of like a house party or whatever.
Oh, that's great.
And then I had my music video director that I've worked with a few times. Shout out Will Mass Productions. He shot that one as well. So I'm excited for that to come out. And I'm just keeping busy. Just love to collaborate with people and support the arts.
You sure are keeping busy. You're doing a lot of things. And I think it's just incredible when you're able to share what you love doing and be creative and have that outlet and to perform live. Like it's almost not about the money. It's not about that. But like if you're able to just share that with people, especially performing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's so important to support the arts because like as artists, and like this well as an artist, it's like, we're putting a piece of our heart out there.
Yeah. It's a very vulnerable thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I think that the art is definitely like a reflection of each and every one of us. And that's why I like that sentiment of, art sometimes imitates life. It's so true because we are kind of like putting like a little bit of ourselves and like our emotions into these things that we're doing. Because otherwise, it's going to show if we're not putting actual feelings into it, if we're not trying to bring something out of ourselves. And so, I think it's definitely important to continue to support the arts. I mean, what were we all doing during COVID when, we were all inside? We were all watching TV, watching movies, podcasting, or for most of us too, like watching TikToks and making TikToks.
Yes, of course. TikTok just reigned during COVID. There's sound bits that I'll hear and I'm like, it gives me a little bit of PTSD. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, oh, I can't listen to this like song anymore. Like it'll just pop up out of nowhere.
Exactly.
It's a little jarring. So putting your heart creatively into so many different places, like how do you balance that? Like how do you make sure that you're giving equal attention and like energy to each thing?
Yeah, you just don't sleep.
Okay, that's the answer.
Yeah.
So the flower, that's where it comes in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like for me, I feel like Because I love exploring all of these different avenues. And if you're very passionate about something, you will move mountains to make it happen, right?
That's true. That's
And
very
so
true.
because I do care about all of these different avenues, I'm like, okay, well, because I do want to continue to help people with their dating lives and their relationship lives and just talk about things, yeah, I'm going to continue to make time for the podcast because I love, talking about just a lot of like hard topics or even just putting my emotions out about my own past, like whether it's the podcast or even via music. I'm going to continue to do that because I want to help other people as well, just through the music. And then also when it comes to acting, I love just taking on these different characters and just entertaining people. And the reason why I love acting so much and just doing musical theater or even just making films is because, growing up, like I was unfortunately abused physically, mentally, and verbally by my stepdad. And so doing theater, especially in kindergarten, that's when I kind of got started in it. That was my outlet. That was how I was able to turn like just negativity into a positive. And so if something was going on at home or if I was going through something at school and I didn't have anybody to talk to, I would just perform on stage and then like it would just make me feel so much better after it. And so after that. And so because of just the environment that I grew up in, I was like, okay, you know what? Since arts has like really saved my life, I'm hoping that maybe via just me contributing to the arts, maybe it'll save somebody else's life.
Oh, absolutely. And if someone's going through a similar thing, which like I really appreciate you sharing that on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think going through something as traumatic as that could inspire somebody. Like, because maybe they don't know how to navigate it or they're like, hey, how can I channel this into something else? And I think sometimes maybe there is some hesitancy with, creatives and arts and acting or just doing something that's maybe out of the norm a little bit.
Yeah.
So hopefully I think that it will inspire somebody. I'm sure you've inspired many people, especially like because people are listening to you.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
I'm trying. And so, yeah, like I know for me, I am not perfect and none of us are perfect.
Nobody's
are all
perfect.
just trying to figure out life. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, if I can just inspire one person, I can just die happy because I know that, hey, you know what? My work mattered even just a tiny bit to like one person. And that's all that I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit.
Let's do it.
So one of the things that we talked about on your podcast that I want to just kind of investigate a little more is you are a man that goes to therapy.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that because I think
sure.
that's important. I think it's important. And I feel like some men can be scared to go to therapy. And I think just in my maybe experience with men and dating, and I think it's very important to be very like emotionally intelligent. So maybe if you could just like walk us through a little bit, like, what made you decide to do therapy and maybe how it's just helped you.
Yeah. So I started therapy, well, I guess to kind of reverse a little bit. So I was married to somebody. I got married at 24 and then divorced at 26. Long story short, she cheated on me a month before the wedding. The only way how I found out was because some guy had jumped in her Instagram and was blackmailing her. Hey, if you don't keep meeting up with me or sending nudes or whatever, I'm going to tell your guy what you were doing. And so she had no choice but to come out and tell me. And so that right there just like crushed my soul because that was like the first person I felt like I can fully trust. And so, yeah, it definitely did a lot. And so I still went through with the wedding and everything in the marriage because I was like, maybe I can learn to forget and forgive. And so year one, I just really couldn't get past it. Year two, I could not trust her. So we went to a couples counselor. I had suggested it because I was like, maybe we need to talk to somebody because clearly the two of us talking we're not coming to.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And the first year of marriage is the hardest year.
Yes.
It's a very true thing. It is a very hard, like, because you're learning like so much. Like you're now married and you're together and you're in the same space and you're sharing responsibilities and finances and you're working as a unit.
Right.
And like communication, if you don't have that, it can be very difficult.
Absolutely. And so, we both went to this couples counselor. And so we were there for a couple months. And even it came down to even him saying that, hey, because Sean isn't able to let go of this and because like this is really hurting him, he doesn't feel like he can forgive. And so if one of you can't get past it, and there's no trust, you all aren't going to be able to really get anywhere. So he was like, hey, I can't tell you what to do, but this is just my observations and just based off of the information that I'm getting from you both sitting here with you. So yeah, I had asked for a divorce, and her lawyer drew up the paperwork, and then I got my lawyer involved, and yeah, it was finalized by the early mid 2018. And so after that, I was like, ooh, I really loved seeing like a therapist and just talking with somebody about all of these different things and the stuff that I'm going through.
Yeah.
So in 2020, late 2019, early 2020, right around that time, right before COVID, I sought out a therapist. And so my therapist is phenomenal. And she works in Chicago and in LA.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. And she's been featured on VH1, and she does like a lot of like, higher clientele. And so working with her, and it's kind of funny because like I found her through Psychology Today, like just like like the therapist website where it just has every different therapist all across like like the states. So it wasn't like I was like, oh yeah, let me find like this. I was just like, I just need somebody that can understand my experience, and then also on top of that, especially as a Black man in America,
right?
So I was just like, I just need somebody that needs like that can. And so she's also Black as well. So kind of just like talking with her, I was like, okay, cool. Like now I do feel like I can be seen and heard in my sessions.
Right.
And so talking with her and everything, she was like, yeah, so you'd have definitely gone through a lot, because I shared with her about like the abuse. I shared with her about the family dynamics and how like my mom was kind of like caught in the middle, because trying to like also be there for her kids, but also try to please her husband. And then, but at the same time, her husband, my stepdad, is doing all these things to all of us. It's like, it just was a recipe for a disaster where it's just like nobody was going to win. And so being homeless, I left home at 17, and I was like, kind of like house hopping and just surfing on couches and stuff. I was homeless for a couple of months where I was like sleeping like on an actual park bench, just trying to figure things out.
Oh my gosh.
And then finally ended up at my uncle's house as well, like my senior year. So I was going through it, to say the least, and talking about all this with my therapist and just recapping this stuff really helped. And then even in the relationship that I was in from 2020 to 2022, my therapist actually saw the both of us, because since I was seeing like my therapist first, she was like, oh, well, if you want to bring in your partner that you're having these, issues with, let her know she's free to come. And so she joined in on those sessions, and my therapist did a phenomenal job at staying neutral, not like, picking on just because, Shauna pays me.
She's like, he's paying me.
Right.
He's my favorite, naturally.
Exactly. So she was really good about being like that neutral party and kind of just, trying to navigate it with us. But unfortunately, the person that I was dating, she was going through the exact same kind of childhood, traumas. But the difference is I had all these positive outlets, and she didn't. And so she was still kind of in the beginning stages of her emotional journey. And so that's kind of where those clashes were happening, because we were arguing every single day, literally not even exaggerating. And she would say, well, Sean, I don't feel this way, and neither should you, which was very invalidating. He's like, I'm allowed to feel the same way she's allowed to feel.
Right, exactly.
And so just kind of just going back and forth, I just couldn't do it. So I broke it off. And then, a month after that breakup, she reached out and was just like, hey, I want to, try again. I've changed. I'm like, nobody changes in a matter of a month. But she just said some sweet things that reeled me back in.
That's what happens. They always reel you back in.
Exactly. So dated for another 7 months. Kind of the same thing happened. And I just broke it off for like the final time. I was like, I cannot do this. But long story short, going to therapy helped me through all of this. And the one thing that was kind of unfortunate that my therapist said, and I hope I don't get flamed for this, but she had said, well, Sean, I feel like you've done most of the work before you came to me. I don't know, like, because I was really kind of aware about how I come off to other people. And like, because ultimately, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. I am flawed as you know what.
You can say fuck.
Okay, cool. I'm flawed as fuck.
Yeah, you can say that.
But ultimately, I am very aware about like, or at least I try to be aware how I'm communicating with somebody or how I'm
Yep.
talking with somebody, especially if I'm getting to know somebody, because I want to have a proactive response rather than a reactive response.
Yes.
And so if someone feels some type of way, hey, Sean, I don't like how you said or did this. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Like, thank you for letting me know. I'm going to do better. And like, yeah, let's work this out. So I kind of like having that approach rather than like someone like keeping it buried and like not saying anything. And then like months down the line, you know what? I hate when you
Right. It gets explosive. And that's like when all the shit comes out.
Exactly. And so ultimately going to therapy was like the best thing ever because like I got to still talk about a lot of the things that I'm going through with my therapist. And even though, like I said, my therapist had identified that I had kind of started a lot of the work before I came to her, but the only reason why that was because again, the arts saved me because I was able to kind of channel all this negative stuff into a positive.
Right.
And so, and ultimately, I never want someone to ever go through or be treated or things said to them the way that things have been said or done to me. And so that's why I feel like I've kind of gotten like a good rhythm of how to communicate with somebody because it's like I don't want someone to be treated like shit because I know exactly what it's like. And then for therapy in general, like too, just for like the audience, I definitely recommend it because it's a neutral party that has no personal investment on your life, and you can talk about anything, and there is no judgment, and they'll help you through these things, and they'll remind you like why you still matter, and so, and unfortunately, especially in communities of color. Unfortunately, therapy is always frowned upon. It's like, oh, like example, like they'll say, oh, well, you don't need therapy. You could just go to church and church will fix that. Or, oh, therapy, that's that white people shit. And it's like, I kid you not. Like it's, and so.
Listen, we like some crystals, okay? I get
it. So yeah, I definitely recommend therapy to everybody. Like, go do it.
I think it's a great thing. And like, not even to say just for men, but I just think you have such a great perspective on it. And it's such a healthy thing. And, you know, you've had some heavy things in your life that you've had to work through. But the thing about you that I really like admire is you're just very self-aware. And you're very willing to communicate. And I do want to hop back to what you said about the first therapist you saw when you were married.
Yeah.
And I think that's very interesting. And also just like, I don't know, like, I don't feel like you hear it enough where a therapist is like, listen, I'm going to say, just from my perspective, I don't think this is working out. Like, I feel like in a sense, there's almost that, like, let's just keep going through it and through it and through it. And like, there are cases where it's like, this just isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
And you have to accept it. Do you think you knew that it wasn't going to work?
Yeah.
And like, did you feel that, or were you hoping that like through therapy that it would change it?
Yeah, a little bit of both because I thought, you know what, maybe if I talk to a neutral party and this professional, maybe he can kind of drop some type of insight that maybe I'm not thinking about.
Right.
And so like, you know, we both went and it was kind of just, you know, hey, the only way you're going to get through this is to be able to just like let it go. And I'm just like, but I can't because I have like, you know, because like I had so much trust in this person.
Right.
And because just the way that I grew up, it was very hard for me to trust anybody. So the fact that I trusted this one person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and so I think that's why it just like hit my heart so deep because I was like, wow, this is the one person that I thought was for me. But because like the therapist like heard everything that I had said, and then like, you know, like my ex-wife had heard everything I was said, like as she was sitting on the couch next to me, it was apparent that like, yeah, there was just no way that you know, me, Sean, was going to get through it. And so that's why. But again, I went to therapy because I was like, I just wanted to see if maybe there's something or an option that maybe I just haven't thought of or explored.
Yeah.
And maybe he can kind of help usher us through it.
Yeah. And I think it's good to just exhaust all avenues before you like make that decision. But it's okay that it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's devastating. Like, I don't know if I would have been able to go through with it personally. I think I probably would have said no. But then deposits are down, you know, and like you've invited people and things are happening and like it's hard with weddings.
It really is. And it kind of just felt like
it's a pressure.
obligatory thing because of because of the pressure, because like we were like the last ones of her siblings to get married, because like her siblings are older than her, and so we were like the last ones, and then like I was the first of my siblings since I'm the oldest, and so she was the youngest. So it was that, and then also the venues, everything was paid off. Like she spent so much money, I spent so much money, so like, and like it was
You're
just
like, it's worth us. We're gonna give it a shot,
right?
We're gonna give it a go.
Exactly. And I think also too, another reason was like, I think a little bit of society too kind of just had like an impact where it's like, well, hey, here's this person that I get along with very well, and that we've built this life together. This is the only person that I was able to trust, because just given where I came from. So I grew up in Englewood, Chicago. So for those in LA, they're like, Englewood.
They're like, Englewood? What?
So there's an Englewood,
that.
Chicago, spelled with an E instead of an I. And Englewood is one of the most dangerous neighborhoods you can ever grow up with. Englewood is basically Chicago's version of Compton.
Okay.
And so I grew up on the south side of Englewood off of 76 and Vincennes. And so like those of like I guess those like that listen to like, I don't know, Chief Keef or like a lot of the Chicago rappers like O Block, whatever, that's all Englewood. And so grew up around there, and just like the school that I went to in my teens, it was over in Chicago Lawn, so not too far away. And so when I grew up in Chicago Lawn as well, like through my teens, I went through an incident where one of my friends, he was a shit talker. He would just like to talk and piss people off. And one day he decided, hey, I'm gonna go tell the 2-6, which is like a Hispanic gang.
Okay.
I'm going to tell the 2-6, hey, fuck you. And so he told them that. They turn around.
Just because?
Just because.
Okay.
And so.
Just wanted to know.
Exactly.
Inquiring minds.
No, absolutely. And I guess maybe he has some beef. I don't know. And so like, like me, I thank goodness I was never in a gang. But because of the neighborhood that I grew up in, I grew up around a lot of people that were in gangs.
Right, you're surrounded by it.
Exactly. And so, long story short, he said, hey, like fuck you to these guys. They turn around, and one of them has a gun, and he just starts shooting at us. So we're like we just start running, and I'm like running in zigzags. Thank goodness none of us got hit. But after that, I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't hang around this guy anymore.
No.
And then on top of that, I was going through a lot, like, again, just at home with just all the abusive stuff.
Right.
I remember the one thing that happened that kind of just made me want to just like, be like, I need to like start remembering all the positive stuff and really leaning on like the arts and stuff. So
you're like, live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love.
Exactly.
As you're zigzagging away from these gunshots.
Exactly.
Just gotta stay positive.
Right. And so
it's not funny, but like you gotta laugh about it.
You really do. Exactly. Like
survived.
these days I like it's hilarious to me. Like some people are like, you should write a book about this. I'm like,
you literally should. With all your life experience, you need to have a novel.
Oh yeah.
Yes. By 40, you need to write a book.
Exactly. But this one pivotal point is what changed it all for me. So 8th grade, I'm like, 13, 14, last year of like elementary school or whatever, because like in Chicago, we didn't really have middle schools. It was just like K through 8, and then you go to high school.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so in 8th grade, I remember it was like, I had like this after school program because it was like this really cool mathematics. I'm like, I love math and history. I'm like a nerd for that stuff.
That's so interesting. That's an interesting thing to learn about you. Yeah. That you just love the mathematics.
Yeah.
I can't relate to that. That sounds nice.
Reason why is because like I wanted to like start my own car company because I love aerodynamics and physics, and so that's a whole nother story. But that's the long story short. So I took this math class after school, and because like I wanted to like learn more about it and see how I can get credits for like high school courses, so that I can like take those high school courses to get college courses. Anyway,
for sure.
So that was part of the reason why. And I remember it was pretty much like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 in the evening, and it was pretty much dead because by that time faculty and school administration, they're already gone. And so it was pretty much just us in the class with like this teacher. It was probably maybe about, I don't know, 10 of us. And so I leave and I'm like, talking to one of my friends outside of like the school. And so he gets picked up by his folks. And so I walk home because I'm maybe about like a couple miles away. So I'm like, I'll just walk home. So right as I'm like literally the last one on the school grounds. To this day, I wonder if they even got footage of this. But anyway, so I'm just sitting there right about to start walking. These kids from Bogan High School, like is this school, like this very, very problematic school on the South Side. These group of kids, I'm probably like 5 of them, about 4 or 5 of them, if I remember correctly. They come up to me and they're like, "Hey, we heard that you were dating, so-and-so's girlfriend." I'm like, "Who? I'm in 8th grade. I had like, wait, who am I dating?" Right. And so they were like, "Yeah, we heard you're dating so-and-so, like so-and-so's girlfriend." I'm like, "I don't even know who that is." It's like, "Oh, okay. All right. So you think you're pretty smart. Okay. You think you're a wise guy, huh?" I'm like, "Dude, you need to like back the fuck up." I immediately went to a 10 because I'm like, all right, now this guy's pissing me off.
Yeah.
And so he pushes me and then I just swing. So like I swing, I knock this guy out. He's like gone. And then this other guy like comes on me. He literally clocks me. I'm like dazed for a minute. I get my elbow and like one of my friends I've told this story to, and like she was rolling, just like laughing when I told her about this. But I was like, I just took my elbow and I just like kind of clocked him right upside the head, and he just like folds over and he's down. And I'm just I'm just just beating on him. I forget there are a couple more guys behind me that I
No, you were surrounded.
So I just feel this like thing just hit me on the back of my head and I'm out cold. Danny, it was a 2x4.
Shut up.
Like this big and like this thick. I wake up in the back of an ambulance and my head is like bleeding, and like there's like a bump on the back of my head to this day where that happened. And so
Stop.
I'm like bleeding like crazy and I wake up like dizzy as fuck, and they're trying to get my information because I'm like 13 at the time. I didn't have an ID on me. I should have, but I didn't have my ID. So I just pretty much, I like unbuckle myself out of the gurney or whatever because I'm panicking. I'm like, oh crap, because if my mom or anybody knows what happened, they're gonna go up to the school and like my uncles. Thank goodness, like my uncles, I love them. They are amazing or whatever. They are very upstanding civilians, but like they will ride for their family if they need to.
You do what you gotta do. Exactly. And
I'm like, I don't
protect your own.
Exactly. I'm like, my uncles are upstanding citizens. I don't want them to get arrested or whatever. Like, I don't want like you know what I mean? Like,
I love that that's what's going through your mind. You're not
I'm thinking
like
about
worried.
Everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God, like I can't do this.
So I literally get up off the gurney. I kick the ambulance door open as it's still driving.
Shut up.
And I roll out onto the street on 71st and Pulaski. I just roll out I'm like scratch the scar. I'm like the what do you like, the street burn or whatever?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was like, wait, why can't I think of what that is? Yes, but yes.
So I get up and I just take off, and I get home, and thankfully there's like a little window that I can like to the house that I was living at the time, that I can shimmy open and go down into the basement where like my folks can't see me. So I like rinse off and I get like a towel and wrap it around my head. I'm like, oh, I just have a headache, I'm just like pretty much just selling them on this. And it wasn't until like I went to another friend's house whose mom was a nurse who kind of, took care of me like the very next day. And she was like, wait, you waited this long? You could have had a concussion. You could have passed out and died in your sleep.
You literally could have passed. That's what I kept thinking the entire time.
Yes.
Did you need stitches?
So I was supposed to get stitches, but I never did. Because I didn't want to tell like my family. And so I basically, what they did was they just like gauzed it up and just left, and like they just switched it out, got like what was it, because like they didn't have like the, what is it, like those stitches that you can that you could just append like these days, like like the regular stitches.
Oh, are they like the disposable, or
like
not disposable, but they like they like melt
temporary,
or something?
Yeah.
Why am I so brain dead right now?
Same, right?
I'm like, they melt.
Yeah, so those weren't really used like that back then. And so yeah, they pretty much just gauzed me up and just prayed for like the best, because again, in order to get stitches, you got to go to a hospital, and then they got to report that because I'm a minor. And then on top of that, I didn't want to tell my folks because, like, again, if I told anybody, they're going to like go up to that school And I'm just like, nope. My family, like nobody in my family has a record, and we're not about to change that today.
You're like, I'm thinking about the family reputation. Like, I might die in my sleep, but like, it's fine. We'll die with some honor.
So after all that happened, Danii, I was like, you know what?
After all of that.
I'm supposed to be here for a reason. I was shot at, I was beat up, and I went through some stuff at home. I'm supposed to be here for a reason. So you know what? I'm going to just turn all of this into a positive. I'm going to continue to make music. I'm going to continue to do theater, and I'm going to inspire other people, because if somebody like wants me here for a reason, why I keep just, literally dodging bullets, I'm going to just literally, I'm going to make the most of it, and I'm going to inspire others. And so, yeah, that's why I do what I do.
I think if you needed a sign, that was your sign. I think your guardian angel is probably a chain smoker.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
and you've got a few hundred lives, but I'm happy that you were able to get through all of that and, not get involved in that like scene or what's going on. And you really like flourished.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing the damn thing out here.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You just had to go through a few wild fucking things to get here.
Oh, yes.
I'm kind of speechless. This is crazy.
And that's not even my Dammit moment. My Dammit moment is for something data related. But like, I'll tell you about it whenever you're ready. But
Okay. Well, why don't we switch to, do you have the Hinge prompts?
Absolutely.
Let's do some Hinge prompts. I'm so ready. So are we going to do this like hinged or unhinged?
Oh, yes. Hinged or unhinged.
Perfect.
And again, these are all screenshots from the dating app. And speaking of which, we'll even cover like the fun ones that we did with
perfect.
You. So yeah. And again, like, and if for those listening, if you all want to, listen to the podcast, Situaseans Podcast, go to situationspodcast.com and then /submit. That's where like the anonymous submission form is, and you can submit anything. We blur and censor names and people's faces and all that stuff. We got to protect the innocent.
They're not innocent.
Right.
They're not innocent.
Somewhat innocent.
No.
Right, exactly.
No. So the game is hinged or unhinged for anybody that's not familiar. So he's going to read these prompts.
Yep.
And then we're going to decide if it's hinged or it's unhinged.
Yeah.
I'm so ready. I love this.
All right. Okay, so this first one says, best travel story: got kidnapped and escaped, crashed a motorbike, got rescued, and got shat on by a parrot within 2 days on a beautiful Nicaraguan volcanic island. Is this hinged or unhinged?
So, fun fact, this is the one that we did on your podcast. Exactly. And this is the one that I reflected on a little after, because I think I said, ooh, he's dangerous.
Yes.
He loves an exotic vacation. Maybe I'm going to bail him out of jail. This could be very fun.
Yeah.
And if anything, it'd be a good first date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's an incredible story.
Yeah.
It better fucking be true, by the way. If it's fabricated
right.
and I got ready for that, I would be very upset.
Exactly.
But I'm going to say hinged.
It's very hinged, because it's like the best travel stories have some of the most wildest things happen that you just somehow have to just get around and just try to navigate. So yeah, I definitely think that one is hinged for sure.
That's debatable. I feel like people at home might be like, maybe we say no.
Exactly. And you know what? I got another one. And so we didn't cover this one on your show, but this one is another one that they submitted to the forum. And this one came in a couple weeks ago, actually. So this one says, my biggest date fail: the waiter came up to me and said my date is gay and asked for my number. My date was a 5. The waiter was a 10. And it has a little emoji. So the waiter wasn't feeling the guy that this person went on a date with, and just pretty much said some stuff, whatever, just to get her to be interested in him, the waiter, and slid the number, which is wild.
That's diabolical.
That's bold,
but kind of an evil genius.
Yes.
I love that he's like, he's gay.
Right.
Like that's just the first thing. He's like, he's gay.
Right.
So clearly no. And he's a 5 and I'm a 10.
Yeah.
If I was in this situation, would I shouldn't say this, but I feel like that's bold.
Yeah.
That's bold. And if I'm not having a good time with the date, I'd say hinged.
Right, exactly.
I'd say hinged.
For sure. Because like I agree with you 1000%. Because like, yeah, if you're not feeling this person and like, yeah, someone like just comes over, like the waiter or whatever, just like, hey, I think you're cute or whatever. I'd be like, oh, all right.
It might be a little awkward,
Right,
exchanging awkward. Some information, but
Exactly. It's like, you know what? I'm here for the plot at this point. Like the person across the table isn't really doing it for me. And you know what? Like I'm probably gonna get heat for it later. But at this point, hey, I guess it's another story I can just tell on the podcast.
It's true. I think people are going to pick up on it, Sean, that we do things for the podcast. We do it for the plot.
Exactly.
We're doing it for the plot.
Doing it for the plot.
That's so good.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't believe these are real.
Yeah, these are all real, which is like the most insane part about it. I can do one more for you.
Let's do one more.
All right. So let's see. I'll do another one that we haven't done together.
Okay.
All right. So this one says, most spontaneous thing I've done, gone on a second date to Vegas for New Year's Eve weekend. Now that's pretty.
That's bold. I think anything around the holidays is bold.
It is.
Like, because you think about that as like a single person, right? Because you're like, if I start dating in like late September, you start getting into a danger zone.
Yeah.
Because then, there's Thanksgiving and then there's Christmas, possibly Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Yeah. We've got a lot of things going on. And like, I just don't, it's too soon.
Right.
It's too soon for the family activities.
Yeah.
But New Year's Eve, I guess, is a little different because you're typically out with friends and you're like having a good time. But there is the New Year's Eve kiss, which is going to set the tone for the rest of your calendar/fiscal year.
That part. Yeah. Plus, it's like, how well did you get along with this person on the first date? And because if this is the second date and you're going to Vegas, can you trust this person too?
That's fair. Because like I would appreciate someone being spontaneous and being like, let's do Vegas. Because I'm like, perfect, let's do Vegas. But a second date on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I would probably do it.
Yeah. All right.
I feel like I would do it.
Yeah.
Now, if someone invited me over for Christmas, I'd say no. No.
Second date, come over for Christmas, meet the entire family.
Oh my God. I literally have a heart attack. The sweating that would happen would just be so bad. Would you ever do that?
No, I literally could not. No. And for me, I'm the type of person that's like, I need definitely like let me know your opinions on this too.
Yeah.
So for me, in order to like introduce somebody to like family, it would probably take me about almost a year because I want to make sure that I am like certain about this person. And then to introduce them to friends, maybe about 6 months because I want to make sure that it's solid with this person. Like I'll tell friends about this person maybe after a couple months, but I want to wait 6 months because I'm like, I just want to make sure that this person is not temporary because in my own experience, I've gone on 200 dates, like first dates.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, from the time that I've downloaded the dating apps. And these are the 3 conclusions that I've come down to as far as like why it never really worked out. Either because, they weren't as far along on their own mental and emotional wellness journey as like I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
And so we kind of have those clash dynamics and maybe they have some hurt stuff or that they're not processing.
Right.
Versus I have mine that I've pretty much processed and I'm continuing to do the work. Or maybe one of us doesn't like the person more than the other person does. Like maybe I like them more than they like me or they like me more than I like them.
Yeah.
Or like the other reason is possibly because like, again, dating app, they have all these different options. And so it's hard for them to kind of like, lock it down with one person. And so like that. And so I think those are like, have been, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody else's experiences, but
yeah.
But that's just my own experience. And so that's why I'm like, okay, well, like I do want to get, married again. I do want to start a family and all the things.
Yeah.
But the way that like I'm leading like my dating life, I'm dating so intentionally. I'm like, hey, if this person has like, some hurt or some stuff that they're going through and they don't and they're not really kind of meeting me halfway and like, making this an equal kind of, partnership.
Right.
I can't do it. Like I just don't have the patience as much as I used to if someone isn't doing the work on themselves.
We're both in our 30s. We're tired.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I get that. It's like, if you're not working on yourself, if you're not progressing as a person, if you're not evolving,
yeah,
it's really hard. And I think it takes a few days or maybe a date or two to kind of understand. I think for me, it's like the maturity of a man that I'm kind of looking at. I'm like, where are we at here? And I think you can pick that up kind of quickly. I feel like I've gotten a little better with that. I think I've definitely struggled with that in the past. I think my thing too that you said was the first date. Like, so you don't tell any of your friends.
Yeah.
Like, do you wait for a few dates before you say something? Like, even as casual as like, hey, I went out on a date with this person.
So I'll tell my friends, like, so let's say I've gone on like a few days and even kind of just, going back to what I was saying earlier, as far as like, like what I've concluded to.
Yeah. Which I think is very fair.
Yeah. Like, and this is just me spending like, like, again, this is like on average as far as spending time of about 3 months or more. I'm not like, oh yeah, the first date, this person hasn't displayed that no, it's not like an assessment after the first date. It's like, oh, this is just like on average dating somebody, for a couple of months or more and why it ended. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so kind of going back to your question. So as far as telling friends, I would tell them maybe after like the 5th or 6th date, I'll just say, oh, hey, I started dating somebody and this is like our dynamic. And yeah, this person is really cool. Like this person, like has this and this and this going on. And yeah, I'm just here to just see like, like how it goes and how we can communicate with one another. Because that's the one thing too, that I think that's going to make or break any relationship is just communication at the end of the day. And so,
true.
So can we communicate with each other? And then if we have any roadblocks, how are we going to problem solve? Because I love working with people that don't mind problem solving. Like let's do this together. It's not
let's
like
roll up our sleeves.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh yeah, I'm never the problem. Like we are all flawed people.
We are all the problem.
And I know what my red flag is like in dating. So like let's say if I'm dating somebody and like someone is continuing to like do something and I've communicated, hey, I don't like that you've done that, and then they continue to do it. I become vindictive where it's like, okay, fine, I'm going to do the exact same thing to that person so that they know how it feels so that they'll stop. Because me telling them and kind of explaining it to them isn't working.
Yeah.
So I have to match their energy or be petty in order for them to like really see.
Yeah.
So that's, like, and again, like, how many people are going to like admit their red flags, whatever, but it's like.
And you're out here
right,
doing the thing.
And so I know that about myself and I'm like, okay, well, if I'm dating somebody who's pushing me to be that person, I know that I have to leave because I don't want to treat somebody like that. That's not who I am. And that's not like in my character. But if I'm like being pushed in this corner where I have to be in this defense mechanism, that's going to like, like that part is just like, okay, well, nothing else is working. I guess I have to just show this person that same energy in order for them to understand. And it's like, I don't want to do that. So, hey, like, don't put me in a position to be made to feel like that the same way you wouldn't want me to put you in a position where you have to be defensive or display anything that that you would not normally display, because we're not that person. Is again, it's a reflection of our environments. We are all products of the environments that we grew up in.
Yes.
And that's why we act the way we do in our relationships, you know? And it's up to us to break those cycles. And that's what I was able to do. I was able to break those cycles. But again, we all, have our bad days. So if someone is continuing to do something and it's like, hey, this is triggering me, please stop. This is triggering me, please stop. And you're not doing it. Okay.
I think it's a pretty clear sign that like this is not going to work.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, I have to go. And so like, if I'm dating somebody for a few months and like, we're not able to get along, then like, yeah, I have no problem ending it no matter how much we both feel that we're made for each other. It's just like, I don't want to lose my mental sanity.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose all the hard work that I did on myself. And I'm always smiling and laughing and like just this vibrant, expressive version of myself. Like, this is who I am literally in every facet of my life. The same way and the same energy that I'm bringing here on your podcast is the same way that I am in real life, is the same way that I am around friends, family, people I date. Everybody. Like, this is just who I am. And so I love smiling. I love making people's days better. And it's like, I don't want all that hard work to be undone, because someone else, isn't doing the work on themselves and projecting or expecting me to carry the baggage.
And it's very good that you're mindful of that, because that can happen and you don't even realize it. Like, you don't even realize these subtle changes or this like trait in somebody that, you're maybe mindful you don't like, but it does start to change you. So if it's not working, like, I think it's very healthy to just be like, get out. But I don't know. I'm just picturing going, girl. Like, I've told you 45 times.
Right.
Knock it off.
But I think overall, most like more of us do need to start just being open and honest about like who we are as a person, and kind of like, and just being forward about where we want to go in our lives. And like, again, I know some people are private about their dating lives or how they are as a person or the stuff that they've gone through. But me, I have nothing to hide, because it's like, I've talked about all this on the podcast. I'm an open book. Someone has questions for me, I have no problem answering, because it's like, again, maybe my fuck ups could help somebody else.
True. Somebody's got to do the job.
Yeah.
And you're just very good at doing the job. You got to help the people with their dating.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, so right? Are you going to Vegas?
Yes. So I would go to Vegas if it was a very great first date.
Okay.
I would go to Vegas.
Would you? Yeah. Okay, so you would do it.
I would do it. I would do it. Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Take the gamble. Do the thing.
Yeah.
All right. I want to hear that Dammit moment you've got.
Oh, Dammit Danii.
I know.
Okay.
She's ready.
So this one is courtesy of a previous person that I dated out here.
We'd love a good dating story. Only 200 first dates. That's fucking wild, by the way.
I just want to find my person and just be off of the dating apps.
It is nice when you can just, delete it, and it's not like, we'll see you in a few months.
Right. Exactly. So this Dammit moment that happened was, I was dating somebody who is also in the performance art space, specifically in the opera space.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we met in October of 2025. And it ended in January of this year, of 2026. And so, we met on this dating app, Field.
How do you find these?
So I found out about Field via another podcast that I listened to. Going to plug really quick, You Up, the letter U and UP. You Up podcast is by Betches Media. So funny.
I know which one you're talking about. Yes.
So
okay.
Someone had mentioned it on that podcast and they ran some ads for it. I was like, you know what? Let me find out what this Field is, because Field is like a dating app, but for people that don't have like those, I guess, those general stereotypical dating and relationship labels, like more of like an open type of dating platform, like polyamorous, E&M, and all these other dynamics. Now, me, for a relationship, I would prefer to be monogamous.
Yeah.
But in my single, like example, well, I'm single right now, but like as a single person, I don't mind dating a couple or being like in somebody else's dynamic.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I am part of like the kink community, and so. Yeah.
You waited till the end of this podcast to bring that up, Sean.
So yeah, there's definitely another side of me as well. There's a midnight version of Sean.
Okay, well, we're gonna need Midnight Sean back, because you dropped a major bomb at the end of this episode.
Right. Gotta make them stick around, like.
That's true. We gotta keep them tuning in.
And so, yeah, we both met on this app. And so the first few dates were like amazing, because we found out that we have all these great things in common as far as like community, as far as like what we want to see in other people, what we want to see in ourselves. And also the performance art, we both, love that. She also came from the exact same, trauma and stuff that I grew up with. So she understands it fully. And so like, yeah, we just had all these things in common, but the downside of it was, she was in the beginning stages of like of like trying to figure out like her mental health because she recently had a few diagnoses from her therapist, and so she's trying to work through that.
Yeah.
And one of the things is ADHD, and so and then a little bit of like a personality thing as well, like going on, and so trying to like work with her through that. Of course, like we love people that are like that are doing the work on themselves and stuff like that. Mental health is so important. It's so important to focus on and advocate for. But there was just some things that she would say and do. She would say something and not really think about it and just kind of just act on it. So one of the things was so she invited me to come out and meet her friends. So she like the day job, she works in like the service industry, told me to like come out and with some of her friends. I was a little bit hesitant. I'm like, we've only been seeing each other for 3 weeks. You want me to come out and meet your friends? It was her friend's birthday.
Listen, that's how we find out, Sean. That's how we figure out.
Yeah.
You got to have the friends' opinions.
Yeah. So I go out to meet her friends, and like it was like one of the friends' birthday. So I'm like, okay, cool, like no worries. I don't want to be a damper and be like, oh well, Sean didn't come or whatever. And now I'm like the bad guy because I didn't show
right.
up.
You have to go. You kind of have to do it.
Yeah. So I go out and everybody's nice and like everyone's like friendly and welcoming. And so I buy the girl that I was dating. I buy her a drink, and then I buy like her bestie whose birthday it was a drink. And so, mind you, like at this time, I was laid off from my government job, so I'm freelancing, and I'm doing some part-time work for this anesthesiology group and doing some marketing for them. And so and then I also got another job working at a non-for-profit. So like,
jeez,
my regular day job, my regular like government job was taken from me because I was laid off because of this administration's funding cuts to Medicare. I was doing email marketing for Obamacare, and so.
I have a friend that was also laid off that worked for the government.
Oh no!
So it's tough.
Exactly. So the money that I was making from my regular day
that you
job,
rely on,
it was completely wiped away and just gone from up under me. And so I got these 2 part-time jobs, to supplement the income to pay my rent and everything. And so, I'm like thankfully I can still have a little bit of fun money, but I'm not
You're not
rolling.
balling.
Exactly. I'm not balling. Not exactly. And so anyway, I buy her a drink. I buy her friend a drink and everything. This is her friend's birthday. And then
Which was nice of you, by the way. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Don't mean to interject, but that was very sweet of you to do that.
Absolutely. And I had said, thank you so much for having me out here. I know, it's our first time meeting, and I know I definitely appreciate, you letting me be here, so like to kind of just extending like that comment. And so, so literally about maybe half an hour later, the girl that I was seeing, she comes up to me and she's like, hey, can you buy a round for me and my friends? Like, and mind you, it's about 20 of them. I'm like, hey.
What? That's a village, Sean. Right? That's a village of people.
Exactly. And I'm like, hey, you do realize you do know that like I don't have the job that I used to have, so I'm not making the same as I used to. Like I got these 2 part-time gigs. Like, what do you need? And so she was like, that's fine. Well, if you don't want to buy a drink if you don't want to buy a drink for me in here, I'm sure another man in here will. Said that to my face. And so because one of her kinks is in the kink community, she identifies like as a brat and like loves rope, and she wants princess treatment, which is absolutely fine. But like even dating, I told her from date 1, hey, I definitely don't mind the princess treatment, and like I definitely want to cater to like your preferences as well as like we try to work around mine as well.
Right.
But I did tell her, hey, I want an equal partnership, whereas like I don't want to take care of somebody. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I communicated that from like day 1, and so we had a little bit of back and forth to try to like work through it and everything. But anyway. And so you would think that was the worst thing that happened that night. No, something else had happened. Here's a Dammit moment. So, her boss, or her former boss, decides to buy drinks for her and the friends, but the boss asks if he can motorboat her tits.
No,
kid you not, and she just lets him. And I'm like maybe about 5 feet away.
In the bar?
Yeah,
in front of God and all of his friends?
Yes.
What?
I'm about 5 feet away talking to one of her coworkers, who came out with them, and I turn around and I'm like, and so if this was like the Englewood version of Sean, I would have
He would have had a 2x4. He would have been ready.
Right, that guy who motorboated her tits. Let's just say
her boss, her
former boss. Like, oh yeah, if this was old Englewood Sean, I would have gone after the boss, but her old boss. But anyway, so I was just like, you know what? Maybe she doesn't know that's not cool. I'm gonna just talk to her about it later. So
you handled that very well.
So I kind of just let it fly over, and then when we got back to my place afterwards, I was like, hey, can we talk about what happened? And she was like, what happened? And I pretty much just recapped the entire thing. She was like, what's wrong with that? I don't think that there's anything wrong. It's not like I like him or anything like that. And on top of that, he got us all drinks too. And on top of that, it's not like it meant anything. I'm like, come on now. Like, that's not, I was like, how would you like it if I invited you to come out with my friends?
Right.
And maybe one of my former bosses or one of my close friends just comes over and grabs my junk. And I'm like, oh, hey, it means nothing. This is just what we do.
Yeah, this is our greeting. This is our little friendship greeting. It's our little secret handshake that we have.
Exactly. And so she still she was like, I guess that wouldn't be cool. And then, I don't know, she told me later on that she talked to her friends about it. And her friends were like, yeah, that's kind of messed up that you did that. And so it wasn't until her friends had to say the exact same thing for it to register that wasn't a cool move. And again, at this point, we weren't like an official relationship because there's only 3 weeks of dating.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're dating somebody, don't bring the person that you're going on a date with to go flirt with somebody else or do anything with, you know what I mean? Then don't bring me. Because, like, example, if that happened and I wasn't there, I would have been okay with it. Like not fully okay, but I would have been like maybe about 80% okay because.
But you weren't there.
Right, exactly. Because it's like, yeah, it's not my girlfriend at the time. So it's like, like we're in the beginning stages, like whatever, I wouldn't have cared. And plus I wasn't there. But because I was there and because she's the one who asked me out to be there,
right?
That was just so disrespectful. And so ultimately like that and then just some other invalidating things that she just said, I was just I just could not do it. I had to leave. I had to end it after 3 months. And then she pretty much lived with me for like a month and a half. Like that's
pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's very quick.
And because like she always had her own place, but since she, she so I live in Koreatown, and so like, she her job was like not too far away from where I was. And so she lives like, in a, we'll just say like far, like east, about 45 minutes, west. And so since like from my location at least. And so since she's in that kind of a commute, it was like, okay, well, she had asked, is it cool if I crash here so that it's easier for me to get to work since you're so close to my job? And so a couple of yeses, sure, you can stay over, turned into her kind of just staying over, overstaying a welcome, I guess. But because I'm a nice guy, I was kind of too nice to like say, hey, and then then I kind of just eventually got cool. I was like, yeah, I guess it's fine if you want to continue to leave your stuff here for a little bit. And yeah, about a month and a half later, it was just like the same issues kind of just started to arise, and I had to just leave and ask her to, take her stuff. And so, and at least I was a nice guy. I helped move her stuff back. It's not like she moved all her stuff. It was just like 6-7 different
enough,
bags.
like toiletries and things.
Right.
But
so I helped her move all her stuff back to her place. And then that was it. I was like, I couldn't do it again. But yeah.
I think you were bamboozled, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you were bamboozled.
And I know on my end, I just started to just get like very just like, just irritated where like the smallest things were just getting to me because of like all the stuff that, that she said and did and continued to say and do. So I just began to just, I became more impatient, and I was like, I just can't do this. And again, I don't like this version of myself that I'm becoming. We gotta end things. And so broke it off.
I think that was probably for the best.
Yeah.
That is a crazy ass Dammit moment, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving that to share.
Absolutely. And sorry that I talked your head off and your audience's head off, but yeah.
This is what we live for, Sean. We choose this life, as Will and I say. We choose this life. This is what we were doing. You've been a delight. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for being a guest on the podcast. I'm really happy that you were able to come. I love that you were on brand with the pink shirt.
Gotta
So if you're watching the
represent.
podcast, you'll be able to see it. And can you shout out your socials so everybody can follow you?
Absolutely. So on Instagram, I'm at Sean Mike William, SeanMikeWilliams. And just follow Situaseans Pod, Situaseanspod. And then just go to situationspodcast.com. You'll find all the stuff on the podcast. But yeah, that's how you can find me, and hope to connect and hope to hear some of your stories. So submit it to the podcast. We would love to unpack it. And yeah,
Let's do this again.
absolutely.
Let's do this again. Make sure to check out Situaseans Podcast. Make sure to check out music. Check out all the things that Sean's doing because he's doing some really cool shit. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor and a blessing. And thank you to the listeners for tuning in. You all are so lovely. Love you guys.
That's why we're here. It's why we get to do the things that we love. All right. Thank you guys so much for another episode, and we'll see you next week.